we're into the second or third generation of basically children having children, and unfortunately, without those examples of character, without those examples of integrity, morality, and ethical behavior, I don't know how pouring $22 million into another building to put in 15 beds is going to solve anything. I admire the fact that the Hennepin County Board obviously understands it is a crisis. It is a crisis, but it's not one they can solve. It's just not one they can solve.
Not with those programs.
We've
correct.
crossed a line that cannot be uncrossed, and that's unfortunate, which is why I continue to link it back to the fact that I think perhaps no matter who gets elected today, we're going to see a continuing decline in quality of lifestyle.
I was having a conversation with someone in education, and they said the very same thing that Rookie told us a couple of years ago, that when these kids, what was it, Rook, if they can't read by the time they're in third grade, they will end up in jail.
That was a black principal with a PhD.
Yeah. Yep.
And he or she said what?
He said if they can't read by the time they're in third grade, they are statistically, they're going to jail.
Well, when they come home, it's unlikely mom's going to sit down and read them a book.
Okay, yes, it's a very tough situation, but what you're saying is spot on, and that's what has to change. They need to promote the conventional family and not, hey, have another baby. Who's your baby daddy? Get another check. Get it, because that's what tends to happen.
I hate to keep going back to the same example because I've used it many times, but the behavior of Melvin Carter. I would even go to Obama. We've had many black leaders who could have established examples of character, discipline, integrity, moral and ethical behavior, and have chosen to go the other way, where they sided with a child who was behaving poorly, and they decide to blame the system, blame the cops, blame whatever, rather than take the child by the scruff of the neck and say, shape up. That's not happening in this country.
Right.
It's just not happening. So you've got, tens of thousands of troubled kids in Minneapolis and St. Paul. Where are these kids supposed to look for guidance? Where are they supposed to see behavior reflected in ways they understand? They're not seeing it. They're not getting it. You think they're getting it from Aisha Chugati?
No.
Do you think they're getting it from Robin Wansley? Do you think they're getting it from Melvin Carter? God bless Melvin. I'm sure he's done some great things, but he has blown opportunities to take a firm stand on behalf of civil behavior. And so long as that continues, you can build 10 of these buildings, you can pour $200 million into them, and it's not going to make a bit of difference without a sea change in the way the elected class behaves, the way the entertainment industry behaves. I mean, you had a woman. Well, you had idiots endorsing both Trump and Harris, but you had a woman endorsing Harris who sang one of the most profane, ridiculous songs that ever existed. And it went to number one on the charts at a time when Precious Mysterians in the failed Academy were complaining about sexual aggression in the song
Baby, It's Cold
Baby,
Outside.
It's Cold Outside. Right. I love children, and I God knows I'm surrounded by none of them right now.
Joe, do you think this is they're getting exactly what they want? That's how cynical I am.
Who's they?
People in charge.
Yes, I do.
To
more
what
dependency on the government, more programs needed.
And you're bringing in, if in fact this country is going to continue a very relaxed border policy, the people doing that can't possibly believe that these people are coming here to adhere to a high ethical standard and ethical integrity that used to be somewhat a foundation of America. America's made a lot of mistakes, and we, better than most countries, tried to correct them. But if you're going to allow millions and millions of people to come in here, do you really think they're coming in here with great intentions? Many of them are. Many are. Many will survive, and many are just going to
take advantage of the
not
system.
give a damn about
Right.
this country.
Right.
Ain't my country.
Don't you think they know that?
Yes, they do.
Again, to what ends?
I guess to keep them in power, because they are these. It's a recipe to create voters for people who will give them things, and that's great. But as the old saying goes, it stops when you run out of other people's money.
Right. Did you guys hear Elon on with Joe Rogan at all? Did anybody?
I did.
What did you take away from it? There's a reason I'm asking.
I'm just one of these weirdos that happens to be find Elon terribly interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you the part about why this election is so important? Because basically, every state will become California. Did you hear that part?
I did.
That part was fascinating, but also very disturbing.
Right.
Back to the previous conversation, I think you mentioned this. If you didn't, it's on